We have some breaking news to talk about today. Monumental changes are coming to the game of baseball in the year 2023. But before we break that all down, I just want to mention that Wander Franco is officially healthy. He's making his return to the Rays today. And also Tyler Glasnow, he made his first AAA rehab start. So the Rays, they're about to get even scarier. What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. You guys know the drill. We do this every single day. So if you stick around, cool. If not, I want to break down these changes right this second. So the three changes that are coming to the game of baseball in 2023, this is a graphic directly from Major League Baseball, so there's no fluff, there is nothing that I'm lying about. Pitch clock, larger bases, and a shift restriction. They are not banning the shift, so let's talk about it. Also, I just want to mention that every single new subscriber that we get for the final month of the season, I will be making a donation to Stand Up to Cancer, so make a donation for free. Subscribe. All right, enough of that. A lot of people are praising the fact that a pitch clock is coming to the game of baseball because if you take a look at this graphic right here, these are the stats about pitch clock. Batting average, runs, everything pretty much stayed the exact same. The only thing that changed, the average time being played. So to me, this is going to be a fantastic improvement. Sometimes, I mean, as much as I love baseball, it can get a little bit tedious trying to watch 3 or 4 games in one single day. So 15 seconds will be on the clock when no one is on base. 20 seconds will be on the clock when runners are on base. And also one more thing I want to mention about the pitch clock, a hitter has to be in the batter's box with at least 8 seconds left. So that's pretty much the pitch clock in a nutshell. I guess one more thing I do want to mention before we talk about the larger bases is a pitcher now gets 2 disengagements from the rubber every single at bat. What does that mean? Let's say Corbin Burns is on the bump and there's a runner on first base. If he picks off once, that is a disengagement. If he steps off a second time because he didn't understand pitch comm, that is 2 disengagements. The only way that you can get 3 in one single at bat is if you pick off and successfully pick off the runner. If you pick off a third time and you don't get the runner out, that is an automatic balk. Larger bases are coming to Major League Baseball, and this is going to be interesting in terms of how they look from a viewer's perspective. I don't think that anyone is going to care that the bases are bigger. Now, they might look goofy at first, but we'll get used to it as time progresses. Really, all that they're trying to do is promote player safety because a lot of times players get in collisions at first base. Now, another thing that is going to happen just naturally because larger bases, stolen base attempts are going to increase because you now have a bigger area to slide into, and also the success rate is going to go up as well because of what I just said. It's a bigger base, so you're going to get there quicker. So if we're talking about pitch count and we're talking about the larger bases, we are actually speeding up the game of baseball and making it more exciting. So how could this be anything but good for baseball? Well, a lot of people are suggesting that the final rule change is going to ruin the game. I am not in that camp, but let me explain the rule in a nutshell pretty much. So a limit to the shift is coming to the game of baseball. Every single infielder has to have their cleats on the infield dirt before the pitch is thrown. Now, if someone makes contact, obviously they can react and go field the baseball, but the third baseman, the shortstop, the second baseman, and the first baseman all have to be in the infield. They can still have a bunt defense. A lot of people were confused that, oh wait, if it says on the dirt, that means that they have to have their cleats on the dirt, so they can't have an infield in situation. No, they can have their feet pretty much 2 feet away from the hitter if they wanted to, as long as they're in the infield. So a lot of people are saying this is going to ruin the game of baseball because you should just be able to go the other way. But I don't know if you guys knew this, but baseball's hard. And I'm going to go ahead and stand behind that because honestly, I can't imagine any of you guys getting into the batter's box and just telling yourself, okay, if baseball's that easy, I should just hit it that way. No. It doesn't work like that. Yes, they're professional athletes and they're being paid millions of dollars, but the game of baseball is a whole lot harder than it looks on TV. It is the hardest professional sport to play, in my opinion. So when you have this shift against Joey Gallo, I cannot stand that. You should not have 8 right fielders at once. Or when Manny Machado made a catch in right field, why is that happening? He is a third baseman. So for me, all of these rules are going to 1, speed up the game, and 2, cause more chaos because larger bases means more stolen bases. A limit to the shift means more singles. So let's say J-Ram, he is a perfect example. He's someone that gets robbed by the shift often, but he's also someone that steals a lot of bases. So if he can turn 10 to 15 lineouts into 10 to 15 singles and then steal 5 or 6 more bags because of the shift being limited, that's cool with me. And also, it's limited. You can still shift. If the second baseman and shortstop want to play up the middle, you can do that. You just can't have anyone passing second base. So let's say Babe Ruth is second base, right? I can have a fielder right here and I can have a fielder right here. It doesn't have to be normal shortstop and normal second base. You can still shift. But it's restricted now. You can't have 4 outfielders, and I'm okay with that. So pretty much in a nutshell, those are the changes officially coming to Major League Baseball in 2023. The pitch clock, so you have 15 seconds when no one's on base, 20 seconds when runners are on. You get 2 disengagements per at bat. A strikeout or getting it out resets that. We also have larger bases that promotes player safety and stolen base attempts, as well as stolen base success rate. And last but not least, a restriction to the shift, not a full-blown ban. All 4 infielders have to be within the infield before the pitch is thrown, and you can't have more than 2 infielders on each side of second base. I don't understand what's so wrong about that. I am cool with these changes. I think that the game of baseball is going to get sped up a whole lot more. There's going to be more action. I guess the shift is, a lot of people are ambivalent on it, but whatever. So in the comments down below, let me know your opinions. And without further ado, let's talk about the games from yesterday. So there are so many things to talk about in this first one. We're not going to go inning by inning like we usually do. We're going to split up offense and pitching. Elvis Andrus made his return to Oakland after being traded from there. He hit a baseball 445 feet. I didn't even know that he was capable of that. He's hitting 291 with 8 extra base hits and 15 RBIs already with the White Sox. Moncada belted 2 home runs, one in the first and another in the second. Eloy then launched a 2-run shot, and Gonzalez capped off a 14-run barrage for the White Sox. Moncada really needed that 5-hit, 5 RBI night, one of the worst hitters in the American League coming into this contest. The offense has kind of changed ever since Elvis Andrus got inserted into that lineup, but you know who hasn't changed and has been pretty much the exact same since day one? Dylan freaking Cease. In his last start, he was 1 out away from a no-hitter against the Minnesota Twins. Then he goes out and embarrasses the Oakland Athletics, tossing 6 shutout innings with 9 strikeouts. He owns a 2.06 ERA and an 11.4 strikeouts per 9. He is going to win the Cy Young at just 26 years old if he keeps this up. And as a Cleveland fan, I just want to say I am terrified of the White Sox. So not only does Cleveland have to worry about the White Sox, but they have to worry about the Minnesota Twins, who finally won a game against the Yankees. Ask for forgiveness, start repenting, because Jesus is a coming. They almost never win games against the Yankees. El Kraken, Gary Sanchez doubled and Gio Urshela, and Nick Gordon singled to shallow left for an RBI single. He ties it up at 2 runs apiece. Now it stayed tied for a few innings when Carlos Correa decided it was game over. He has 18 home runs, a 4 WAR on the season. He is going to get paid all over again. Michael Fulmer came in for the final outs. Now he didn't make it look easy, but he 100% got some help from the umpire. It should have been a 4-pitch walk to Gleyber Torres to tie it up, but the Twins, they come away with a 4-3 victory. Christian Yelich is not having the worst season in the world, but he has 21 doubles now, 12 home runs, 16 stolen bases, and a pretty good 114 OPS plus. Then again, we're used to like 140, 160 OPS plus Christian Yelich. The story of this one, though, is Corbin Burns. He was given the lead in the 4th and never looked back. He went 8 innings with 14 strikeouts, no walks. He leads baseball since 2020 in starts where he has 10 plus strikeouts and no walks, so he has been an absolute machine. The Brewers win Game 1 thanks to a Herculean effort from Corbin Burns, and got to talk about the sweep because they win Game 2. Milwaukee was gifted a few runs early. Freddie Peralta, he started this one and he threw 2 shutout, but he left due to shoulder fatigue. They say he might go on the IL, but Freddie says that he's going to be all right. Rookie Garrett Mitchell roped an RBI double in the 6th as Taylor Rogers struck out the side for his 31st save. I forgot that he had that many. Now, before we talk about the Cardinals, we have to talk about the NL wildcard and the Phillies, because the Phillies, they got to keep up with the Brewers now because the Brewers are starting to win games more often. Ledwin Diaz, he kickstarted a nice 3rd. Miami put up 3 in that inning. Cooper and Garcia, they drive in a few runs. Only have my friend Bryson Stott tied up in the very next inning with an RBI double. Joey Wendell reclaimed the lead, and then his team gave up the lead again. We have Alec Boehm tripling home 2 to actually steal the lead. Nothing happened for a few innings until Brian De La Cruz, I love this guy, he scored on an error, and Brian Anderson knocked in the go-ahead run. Dylan Floro, he came out for the 8th and 9th. He picked up the W. Phillies fans, they got to be feeling on edge because Harper's hitting 143 over the last 6 games, and the Phillies only have a 2.5 game lead over the Brewers for the final wild card spot. All right, the Nationals, they made St. Louis feel how St. Louis usually makes other teams feel, because St. Louis is usually the one beating up teams. Well, it was the contrary in this one. Alex Call, who was DFA'd by Cleveland, he easily had his best start in the big leagues. That's a 2-run 2-bagger in the 4th inning. He joined in on the multi-hit party later on as 6 different Nationals came away with multiple hits. Cesar Hernandez had 3 RBIs, and Alex Call had 5 RBIs after this 3-run bomb in the 9th. Surely Cleveland doesn't need an outfielder that can hit, because Miles Straw is hitting 154 with 0 extra base hits over his last 65 at-bats. I like Miles Straw and his speed and his defense, but the offense has been a little bit sus, so we're moving on. Last but not least, Cincinnati is really the the best bat team in baseball in my opinion. Kyle Farmer now has 22 doubles, 10 home runs, and a 327 on base percentage. Spencer Steer tied it on a bases loaded walk in the 8th inning. Seiya Suzuki ran into a pitch for his 12th home run, so Chicago, they had the lead until Alejo Lopez tripled to score Nick Senzel to tie it at 3 runs apiece, and Jonathan India is trying to reclaim his Rookie of the Year ways. He gives his team a 4-3 victory, and then you have Ian Gabo, he notched his first save. And that does it. So this is one of those recaps where I do want you guys to flood the comment sections with opinions. What do you make of the pitch clock? What do you make of larger bases? I feel like larger bases, no one's going to really care about that. But the limiting of the shift as well as the pitch clock, I feel like those are going to stir the pot a lot. And we might have some spicy comments in the comment section. So let me know what you guys think. Remember, we're making one donation for every single new subscriber that we get. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for yet another recap.